The biggest update in iOS history just happened and I want to talk about it. This week was WWDC and I'm going to be breaking down all of the announcements from this week. And there's a lot of information. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order it in the same way that Apple did. So I'm going to be starting with Vision OS and I'm going to be ending with Apple Intelligence. The first new feature that's coming in Vision OS is the ability to take older photos that you've taken on your iPhone, iPad, and other devices and turn them into spatial photos. This will allow you to transform 2D photos that you've taken previously and turn them into immersive spatial photos. The thing that really excites me about Vision OS 2 is the addition of new hand gestures. You can raise your hand up and tap to open the home view. If you have your hand downward and you raise it up, it will check the time and battery level of the device, and if you pinch, you can pull up the control center. And finally, we're going to be able to go and rearrange apps on the home screen. Speaking of the home screen, iOS 18 finally, after 18 years, is bringing some major changes, including the ability to not only move apps wherever you want on the display. What's really cool is that you can go and theme it with dark mode and color tints, and the ability to resize widgets in real time. There are some new privacy features in iOS, like now you can go and lock and hide apps using Face ID. They'll be hidden from views, searches, and notifications. Control Center got a massive facelift with a new gallery of controls to choose from, and now you can even customize the toggles at the bottom of the lock screen to choose whatever application that you want, and third-party apps are supported in both Control Center and on the lock screen. Safari has a new feature where it summarizes and highlights important web info like phone numbers, addresses, directions, and even has a summary view where you can get a quick glance at what the article is about to see if you want to actually read the full article. This is perfect for me when I'm trying to do research for videos and I'm not entirely sure if the web page that I'm viewing is going to have the information that I'm looking for. I can then just look and see if that information is in the summary, and then I can even ask Siri to go and look for specific information, which is going to make research a lot easier for me, personally at least. iMessage, complete overhaul. iMessage is getting a couple new features, one of them being Genmoji, which is essentially a AI generated emoji client that is on device where you can go and tell Siri, hey, I want a dinosaur riding a skateboard, and it will then create that for you so you can send it in iMessage. My favorite feature in iMessage is the ability to now send messages at any time that you want with send later. It's essentially a scheduling client. That way you can go into message and then go and send a text message to your friend or somebody at a specific time, and then the phone will then just go and send that message when that time comes, which is fantastic. Speaking of being able to respond and interact with your devices when it's convenient, AirPods will now allow you to interact with them by nodding or shaking your head in response to text and phone calls. It is a subtle but cool way to stay connected without having to look at your phone. The Home app now supports scheduling of vacuums and setting up guest accounts for customized access to your home. This is going to be great for those of you who love smart home setups and automation, and you can then go and choose which accessories to go and give your guests. This is going to be great for people that have like Airbnbs and stuff. Essentially what you'll be able to do is go and give guest access to either your friends or maybe a rental or something like that so they can use the lights just by their voice. Speaking about customization though, watchOS 11, you can now go and customize your ring goals for each day of the week. I've been a little bit less mobile the last week or so because I sprained my foot. So the ability to go and pause your rings without losing your activity streak is a lifesaver. The workout app has a summary view now and widgets where you can kind of rearrange what data that you want to see on your home screen, which is fantastic. And if you don't want to see, or if something is not pertinent to you, you can just go and delete it, which is great. The workout app also has a new feature called Training Load. Essentially what this is, it gives the ability and provides insights into the intensity of your workouts, helping you make informed adjustments to whether a workout is too hard or if you need to take a break, or kind of just fine tune what you're doing on like a software level, which is kind of cool. And finally, the smart stack is now smarter with widgets appearing based on time and location, which is super cool. Imagine knowing if it's about to rain or when your Uber is arriving just at a glance. And after 14 years, the iPad finally has a calculator app, and it's actually really good. They've added this feature called Math Notes, which essentially allows you to go and use variables and plot graphs and other math expressions, and just essentially does your work for you. So if you go and type 2 + 2 and then an equal sign, it will auto-generate the answer in your own handwriting just based on machine learning. The other feature for iPad that's coming is this ability to go and draw and interact with iPadOS while on a FaceTime call in SharePlay. You'll essentially be able to go and draw on the screen and even use a feature called remote control to control other people's iPads with their permission. They will be able to have you go in and help them just by controlling it yourself. And that brings us to macOS Sequoia, where even though that it's not a huge update and overhaul, they've added new functionality to continuity where you now can view and interact with your iPhone directly from your Mac. The way that this essentially works is it mirrors the display of your iPhone. The other cool feature is that when you're using this, your iPhone stays locked so nobody else can see what you're doing on your iPhone, and it's just on your phone, which means that you can put this away and you don't have to touch it, and you can just interact with your phone on your computer. This feature will be really helpful for video creators because not only can you go and screen record and just fine tune the settings in your camera app if you are like recording on an iPhone like I do, you'll also be able to go and drag and drop files from your phone to your Mac seamlessly, just wirelessly, which is insane. Talking about insane, I want to get into Apple Intelligence. This is the start of a brand new era for Siri. Smarter notifications will be prioritized on your lock screen, and Siri will now understand natural speech better. Apple is adding this application called Image Playground, which will allow you to design AI-generated images, and when you're using the Apple Pencil, you can go and use the new image wand to create contextual images from your notes. ChatGPT is also coming to Siri for more complex queries. The vast majority of the queries that you're going to be asking Siri will be handled on device, which is fantastic. Now, the caveat is you do need to have either a 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max, or any of the iPhone 16 line, which will be coming out later this year. But if the device cannot handle the query that you are asking, and if for some reason Apple's LLM cannot process that query, it will then prompt you on your phone to reach out to ChatGPT, and that will be the only time that any data will be leaving Apple's servers, and it will prompt you every single time. With that, the data that is being sent and the data that is received is not only encrypted, none of the data is being stored on OpenAI servers or even Apple servers for that matter. The only data that's being transferred is the question and then the answer, and then it's deleted, it's gone, which is a relief because I'm glad that Apple is really focusing on privacy with this one. So that was WWDC this year. A lot of AI, not a lot of anything else. There were some fine refinements that we saw throughout, but the main focus of everything was Apple Intelligence, or, Apple's AI. This definitely spells the end to projects like Humane's AI Pin and the Rabbit R1. It is way more convenient to have AI in the device that you already have in your pocket than to go out and get another device that does what Apple Intelligence does, but way worse.